All right, welcome to the replay of Janelle's custom bullet journal. Today we are going to finish off July and start August. And I brought a treat tonight because leftover Mother's Day brownies that need to get eaten. But I still wanted to go live. Welcome here, you guys. Thanks for joining tonight. Thanks for the likes, Elizabeth. I always like to start myself off strong, giving myself some likes from my other account. I have no idea if it helps, but may as well while we're getting settled in. We had some leftover brownie for Mother's Day, so I decided to get it going. Hey, Patty, how are you? I do need to make sure I don't get any on Janelle's journal though, of course. And I want to open up Patty, since you're here. Oh, hey you guys. I'm just ripping open a pack of gel pens here. Patty, these are the gel pens I currently use in my journal, just because I'm all out of OBUJO gel pens, which I like the most. They're the same size and everything. They're cheap, so they're not as good. And then these are just ballpoint pens. Do you know what you'd like for your journal? I know I remember I offered to send you some pens because you said you didn't have anything great for writing in it. So I can send you a few. Aw, you're funny, Patty. I've got ice cream tonight. So if you hear me chewing or wonder why I'm not talking as much. Calligraphy workbook, you can just message me anywhere. I have it saved to Google Drive, so I can just send you a link. Yeah, Patty, which one do you think you'd prefer? So this one is like a gel pen, and then this one is more of like a typical ballpoint pen. Or I also have these ones that have the same ballpoint as this one in black, but then they also have, there we go. But then they also have the 3 other colors. Do you have a preference? Oh, no worries, Elizabeth. You can just DM me anywhere. Here, Instagram, whatever you prefer, or Etsy. Whatever works for you. Oh, for purchasing a journal. Gel pen? Perfect. I'll throw a few of those in for you. Yeah, no worries. I will be honest, I'm not very good at getting back to my DMs sometimes, especially on TikTok. I just forget that DMs exist on TikTok. They're not as obvious as they are on Instagram. So, but hopefully, since you're telling me right now, hopefully I remember to check it sooner rather than later. So, I was texting Janelle earlier today. And let me just read what we were talking about again. Because we were talking about the layouts on these pages. And I think we are going to add some structure to some of them. And we were thinking of kind of structuring some of them like single page weekly layouts. So, let me see here. Which ones would work well as single page weekly layouts? I think we'll do this week's moments and Sunday check-in, having some more like structured parts to it. And then the other ones will just be more open. Let's do that. So I should go on to Pinterest. She loved the monthly spread. She likes the size and everything. So I think we'll stick with this one if you guys are good with that. Oh, Brennan Halverson. You've come on here a few times and asked if you can ask anything, and then you leave. So most of me thinks you're a bot or a troll, but you can prove me wrong. This is ice cream. Because I made a brownie for Mother's Day And there was only one piece left. We've been eating the leftovers together, me and my husband, but tonight he's gone watching hockey. There's one piece left, so I saw my opportunity. Okay. So, let me think here. I'm just going to keep it really simple for these months. I'm not going to pull anything up on Pinterest for the layouts. I'm just going to go with a very, very simple single page weekly sort of layout that she can use. And then, yeah, the other ones will leave blank. Okay, right. So this week's moments. That's hilarious how many of you guys just had ice cream. I love that. Let me think here. Oh no, you're lactose intolerant. I love ice cream, like favorite food in the world, ice cream. What am I gonna do here for a weekly spread? Let me just plot 0 and then maybe 7.5 and 15. Let's do that. And then Sunday check-in as well, we'll do that. So 0, 7.5, 15. And then the other ones we'll just leave open. And Sunday check-in. And then for future months, this gives us something extra to vote on because, oh, did I do 6.5 there? I did. I meant 7.5. Gives us something to vote on because we can choose sort of like a weekly layout, but then just not put the days of the week on because she's gonna put prompts. 0, 7.5, 15. 7.5, 15. All right. Ice cream is not the best snack to eat while journaling, but it is the best snack, period. So we'll make it work while journaling. Okay, I'm just going to use my light brown from this month to draw in a simple box layout where she can just to have some sort of like sections to work with. And then I don't know how she's gonna divide it up, but I will do my part and then she will write in prompts, memories, whatever. So some of these pages need more structure like this one, and then others just need an open box. And that's just what we're going to do for this month. And then future months, we will find a weekly layout to vote on. But for this month, I'm just going to keep it simple since we already spent what felt like a million years on the heading, doing all those little flowers. I like how the heading turned out, but another tip if you're trying to move quickly in your journal, or if you're doing custom journals, like you can't get bogged down in the details, bigger font, smaller doodles is so much faster. If you have a font that's really eye-catching and it takes some of the attention and the space that you would otherwise have to, you know, supply with doodles, that goes a lot faster. Oh yeah, and I took a poll on Instagram for some August theme ideas. And I want to come up with more here in the chat too. It was just to get the juices flowing, but I did really like some of the ideas that people suggested. Someone suggested a kite theme. That might actually have been one of you guys. I feel like it was a name that I recognized, but right now I can't remember it. Someone suggested a kite theme, which I love. I did kites in my journal. I think it was January 2021. And it was still one of my favorite themes ever. That's why I put a kite on the cover of my other journals that I launched. So we could do a kite theme. Oh, what were some of the other ones that I saw in there that were good? Like camping and beach came up again since it's for August. Picnic came up again. I told myself I was going to look at the poll again right before this live, but I haven't checked it since this afternoon, so I don't remember. Yes, hot air balloons, that's the other one. Okay, Elizabeth, that was you who said kites. Well, good taste, because yeah, hot air balloons, kites, I love both of those. And I feel like both of those don't like demand a really like natural muted color palette, but they suit a natural muted color palette really well, you know? I've seen people do really bright kite themes or hot air balloon themes, and I like them, but I feel like they lend themselves really well to like a very soft color palette, which is exactly what Janelle likes. So we're definitely gonna have that as one of the poll options for August's theme. Kind of wish I had brought back the cottage doodle on these pages instead of the flower doodles or something. Just because that was a cute little doodle to do, but maybe I'll get to use it in another journal someday. 3, 6, 8. Spacing guide. I don't have a spacing guide. That's going to be part of like my bullet journal like guide in the bullet journal kits, is going to be like spacing for a bunch of different spreads. I used to use a spacing guide, like I saw a lot of other creators making them every year, and I tried, but I just didn't find it very helpful. I found I always pulled my ruler out every month anyways, and then just memorized the spacings that I used most often. So I don't really use a spacing guide myself, but 3, 6, 8. Sometimes lo-fi sounds like there's a child screaming in the distance. I'm just listening to this music and I was like, wait a sec, is my kid screaming? But then I noticed it's at like an exact interval in the song. So it's part of the music, but it throws me off sometimes. It just sounds like a very, very distant scream. You make a spacing guide ruler. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, and that seems more useful. I saw in like, I think after I had already quit doing YouTube, I saw a few creators make that bookmark version, which seems a lot more helpful. But at that point I had kind of quit bullet journaling for myself, so I didn't bother to try it. But yeah, that does look more helpful to me. Ice cream break. Yeah, it's not melting too fast. It is the cheapest of cheap iced milk from Superstore. I have a Ninja Creamy that my husband got me for my birthday, which I love. So that's like our main ice cream, but I don't have a pint in the freezer, so I had to like dig deep and find some stuff from when we had a lot of guests that we couldn't just do creamy for. My birthday's in September. But yeah, the Ninja Creamy, that was probably one of my favorite gifts that my husband has gotten me for my birthday. Oh, I have no idea. Libra? Not a clue. Not a single clue. Oh yeah, Patty, I remember you mentioning that your birthday was in September. Okay, the ice cream is just vanilla, but I mixed in the leftover Mother's Day brownie that I made, and I crunched in a leftover Easter bunny that we got from the Superstore freebie, this like massive lint box of chocolate that we still have kicking around. So, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah, September is a good month. I heard somewhere though that is the most common birth month, which I don't know, I feel like that checks out. Maybe it's because I have a September birthday, but I feel like I'm always meeting other people with September birthdays. And at first I was like, oh my goodness, what are the odds? Like, you have a September birthday. And then I saw a stat, I think it was just last year, like this is just a recent discovery of mine, that said that September is the most common birth month in the world. Has anyone heard that? Yours is in September too, yeah. All right, so far we're proving the stat true because we've got 75 people in here, and there's already been at least 7 who have said September. September, okay, yeah, they are the most popular. That's so funny. Because yeah, growing up, I had a kid in my class with the exact same birthday as me. One of my best friend's older sisters had the exact same birthday as me. Like, I knew probably 4 or 5 people in my hometown, a small hometown, who had the same birthday as me. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was due in October, and so my parents, well, they didn't know if they were having a boy or a girl, but for their girl's name, they chose Rylee Autumn before I was born. And so my due date was in October, but then I was born on the first day of fall, and they didn't even realize, so they just stuck with Rylee Autumn. So now my middle name is Autumn, and I was born on the first day of autumn. Here is the cover page. It's not a typical cover page because Janelle just wants a monthly calendar to start off her month. So this is like kind of cover page and calendar all in one. All right, so I want to be done with this month because I feel like it's taken long enough already, but I feel like I want to add some washi tape. Now that we added in boxes, I feel like there's a better opportunity to use washi tape. So I'm gonna need a lot though. There's 5 weeks. 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm gonna need even more than this. I'm gonna need twice as much as this. Because she's got 2 weekly spreads, but that means 4 weekly pages per week. Okay. So I'm gonna end up cutting some more, but I'm just gonna choose one spot on each of these boxes to put a little bit of washi tape. We'll do some of this and then we'll pair it with something else like we did on the calendar spread. And then we'll move on to August. Yeah, happy birthday, Sydney. Aw, thanks, Brittany. What are you grading today? Okay. I know that this, so the washi tape always puts this little backing on, the washi tape shop, sorry, always puts this little backing on their washi tape, which is nice in some ways, but also I'm just horrible at getting it off, so it makes using washi tape take so much longer. Get off. States of matter. 5th grade. I feel like 5th grade is probably one of the grades that I remember the most clearly for some reason. That was when my best friend immigrated to Canada in 5th grade, and we've been best friends ever since, even though we live far apart for the last like 11 years. And I moved into the big school, so that was pretty memorable. All right, let's see here. Seeing it as a fresh start. Nice. I would say I've always been fairly creative, yeah. I didn't really do a lot of art for most of my life, I did it when I was younger, and then when I got into high school or even middle school, it was just like sports all the way. So I kind of quit thinking about artsy stuff at all and just went all in on the athletic stuff. And then once I graduated college and finished playing volleyball, then I started getting back into artsy things, and that's when my bullet journal account was born. Ice cream is vanilla with some leftover Mother's Day brownie. Yeah, I feel like 5th grade is just like kind of a coming of age, you know, like you're turning double digits, right? Most kids turn 10 in 5th grade, hey? Or right before 5th grade. But I feel like it's a big deal. 5th grade. Puberty starts. What a time to be alive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure actually 5th grade is also when I started like wearing a sports bra and deodorant, so probably another reason that it was notable. Feeling like I was moving up in the world. Last piece of pink washi tape, thankfully, because this is the annoying stuff that's got the backing and the... I need to cut it in half. The other one will go quick. 6.5 more days until summer break. That is wild. In Canada, at least where I'm from in Canada, it's end of June. Like, summer break would start on like June 28th. My ice cream's starting to melt. I'm going to do a little ice cream intermission. Good night, Sherry. Thank you for joining. That is so wild that summer break is starting already. As parents, do you guys like look forward to summer break having the kids home? Or is it like, you know, kind of, okay, let's survive the summer? Last day of 2K. What's 2K? Is that like preschool? Okay, done with those. Start in the 3rd week of August. Okay, and we would start like after Labor Day. 1st week of September, and then go until the end of June. You do, but then 2 weeks in, you're ready for them to go back. Aw, that's sweet, Amy. Okay, 9 to 12. Huh, cool. The tape is just decorative. We included some. Does the wash raw? Yes, it does stay on. I mean, you could take it off if you wanted to and it wouldn't damage the pages, but it won't just like fall off unless you're picking it off. Man, autocorrect, hey? $20 and $25, wow. I know I'll be there someday. I just hope it doesn't go too fast. Because my little guys are 2.5 and almost 1. Like, we're celebrating a 1st birthday in just a few weeks here. And, like, I mean, obviously this age is very draining, but, oh, they are so cute. I just want them to stay little forever. From someone who is almost an adult. I know, hey, it goes so fast. And as a kid, you don't realize what you like have until it's gone. I know for me, like, so yeah, high school, I loved school, loved high school, loved sports, loved my friends. And then just like, you know, not really thinking much of it, committed to playing volleyball at a school like a province away. And then, you know, I didn't really think much of it at all. And now I still live in that town. I haven't lived at home since, and it's been 11 years. Like, I just didn't realize that I was signing away, you know, my childhood home and friends and everything. So it's just like, oh yeah, this is just the next thing. And then bam. It just disappears in the blink of an eye. Totally, Chloe. I know, I remember feeling some of that when I was like kind of just starting college. And I mean, I still feel it if I think about it too long, but yeah. Okay. Oh, I should have been taking ideas for August while we were doing this. Well, I'll do an ice cream break, and you guys drop a few ideas for the August theme in the comments, and then I'll take a few of those ideas and make them into a poll so that we can vote on our August theme. I'm gonna have some ice cream. There we go. Done. It was just plain vanilla ice cream with some of my leftover brownie from Mother's Day. And now it's gone. Oh yeah, pond idea from last time, picnic. Hot air balloons. So the colors that she likes especially are browns and soft greens. So that's not to say that we can't do other colors, but we want kind of that like natural color palette weaved into pretty much every theme. Okay, so I know Paige was here and Aaliyah was here. Would one of my mods mind doing a poll? Let's do a 4-option poll. I'll come up with all the options in just a sec here. But one of you mods, do you want to just give me like the, okay, you're ready? Okay, thank you, Aaliyah. Okay, so let's choose. We're going to have 4 options and maybe do a 2-minute poll, Aaliyah, so that we can give people more time to vote because I'll kind of describe the different themes. So the first option is kites. We'll do a little kite theme. Oh, I wish I had my kite bullet journal here right now because I did a really cute soft kite theme in one of my journals. But first option would be kites with like little bows on the kite tail and clouds. And so those would come in as like kind of secondary doodles. Option 2, let's see, I need to look back at some of these. Okay, yeah, pond and ducks, or pond, ducks, frogs, plants around the pond, whatever. That kind of stuff. And we'll decide how we want to lay these out after this. But sorry, now I'm getting like post ice cream little like burps. Okay. So kite, pond, camping. Yeah, camping would be cute. And then let's do I'm just trying to think. Maybe we'll do hot air balloons as the last one. Okay, now I spent so much time deliberating, you probably forget what the options are. So let's put 4 options up in a poll. Option 1, kites with bows, clouds, that kind of stuff along with the kites. Option 2 was a pond. There's a little poll right up below my name. If you just click that little clipboard icon, you can choose the one you like. Option 2 was a pond. We would have some ducks, some frogs, whatever we think of to put in a pond. Option 3 was camping. Right, camping. So tent, trees, little campfire, whatever. And then option 4 was hot air balloons. 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then whichever one we choose, we'll still like choose a color palette, go find some doodle inspiration on Pinterest, all that kind of stuff. But this will just kind of be our starting point to come up with a theme. And since there's still 1 minute left in this poll, I'm gonna go grab a glass of water to wash down my ice cream and I'll be right back. All right, let's see. So option 1 was kites. Option 2 was a pond with little pond animals. Option 3 was camping. And then option 4 is hot air balloons. Lock in your votes. Okay, option 2. Okay, pond. Sounds good, you guys. I'm going to open up Pinterest, so I won't be able to see your guys' comments for a little while here. But let me just search pond doodles. We'll use that as a starting point to get some inspiration for our pond. Okay, this is very cute. Let's see. Let's see here. Pond doodles. Yeah, little ducks. We want some of those. Just gonna screenshot this as like a reference for kind of a frog layout. I'm just screenshotting anything that I think might be helpful as I'm doing a pond theme. Does anyone else notice that Pinterest is like 50% ads these days? Like sponsored, sponsored, sponsored. It's crazy. Okay. Now we're not doing a title page. We're pairing it with a calendar spread, just like we did last month. So I'm going to look for some inspiration still on my bullet journal board to see if there's anything to give me ideas for like how we want to lay that out. But, oh, I want Ivana Journals. Let's go to her account here and just look at some of her calendars, because that's where we're getting calendar inspiration from. See, like, her calendars are just so cute. All her spreads are very nice, but... Okay. I want to screenshot this as inspiration to have, like... kind of have the page be a pond, and then like these would be like, you know, like lily pad, duck, kind of scattered around the page. Let's see here. Okay, or something like this where it's just like a block of pond. This is kind of pondish. All right, well, let's choose a color palette now. I'm gonna go back into TikTok and we'll choose a color palette to go along with this theme. So we definitely need a blue for the pond water. We need a green for the frog and a yellow for the duck. And I'm sure we need other colors too. I'm just going to put away my markers from last month. Actually, I can do that while we're voting for things. So if one of the moderators is available and would like to set, we'll just do 1-minute polls for this part. And I'll try to have the default be 4 options, although some of them might have more. Good night, Paige. Aw, yeah, have a good sleep. Thanks for joining. And get some rest, girl. Yeah, we could totally use some of those themes for later months. Okay, let's bring in. Okay, so this is going to be the main color of like the lily pads and possibly the frog. I'm looking for very soft, naturey greens, nothing bright, because that's Janelle's preference. Let me think, do I have any other soft greens in here? I don't think so. I think these are much brighter. Let me try this one. Okay, well, let's do these 5 options. So we'll do 5 for this one, Aaliyah, if you don't mind. And this, yeah, this will be the main green for lily pads, frogs. I might add in another green if I feel like we need one once I start doodling and everything just is looking the same. But for now, let's vote on our main green out of those options. And then I'm going to start swatching some blues to use for just like pond water. Probably won't really be used for much other than water. All right. Oh, how did the poll turn out? Oh, there we go. Option 1. Okay. I'm not surprised. You guys seem to like that one. That's the same green that we used in this month. And even in my previous journal, almost any time I include this green in a poll, it tends to do really well. That is Tombow 192. For those of you who are interested, it's one of my favorite greens as well. All right. So based on that green, then let's choose one of these 4 blues to be the color for the water. So they're all very soft blues. A little more on the neutral side of things. Option 1, 2, 3, or 4 to match with green option 1. Hey, Carol. Thank you for joining. We've got a poll up tonight right underneath my name. So you don't need to do the comment thing. You can just put your vote in the poll. All right. And then what else do we need? We need a duck. So I'll swatch some yellows. And honestly, the fact that she wants such like a soft and natural color palette, I'm swatching a lot of the same colors as I did last month. So there's probably going to be a lot of color overlap in this journal, which is fine. Where's my other yellow that I love? I used it today when I was taking pictures of Patty's journal, but now I can't see it. Where? Okay, option 3. That is hilarious. That's the same blue that you guys voted for last month too. So far we are 2 for 2 on overlapping colors from last month. That's the only blue that we used last month. That's so funny. Okay. Oh, I'm holding the yellow that I've been searching for. Nice. Okay, we want a nice soft duckling yellow. So there's option 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to bring in one of my OBUJO markers for the 4th one because they had some nice yellows in there. And I haven't been pulling them out as much just because, You know, I just memorize which color markers I like, and then I end up reaching for the same ones over and over again instead of trying something new. All right, so let's vote on one of these 4 yellows to match with the 2 colors that we've already chosen. Yeah, I've done that a few times, Amy, where I usually give myself a bigger color palette. I think I did like 8 or 10 markers and then just use those same 8 or 10 markers for the entire journal. And I love how that looks. That's what I did for one of my very first custom bullet journals, which was for my sister. And it's still one of my favorites that I've done. Put your vote right in the poll up by my name. And what other colors do we need? We might need a brown for like some bulrushes or something. Let me pull out a few browns. That would work well with this journal. Maybe if we end up using like basically the same colors this month, I'll just kind of lock in those colors as the colors for this journal. Option 4. Oh, okay, that's different. We did option 3. I mean, they're all yellows. On camera, they probably look pretty similar. But option 4, all right, we'll give it a try. That is my OBUJO marker. Oh yeah, we could do pink for lilies. Okay, I'm thinking we'll do some kind of like bulrushes or something possibly, which I'll want a light brown and a dark brown, but let's just choose one brown that you guys think looks nice. We'll just do 3 options for this one. One brown that you think looks nice from this list of 3. Yes, so Megan, this is all that we've done in this journal so far, is just the month of July. This is a new journal. So it's a family memories journal. Sorry, I want to put this here, but still let you see. So yeah, this is the only month that we've done so far. July with this little cottage and wildflowers theme. Yeah, 3 and 4 for the yellows do probably look pretty similar on screen. And they're decently similar in real life, but 4 is definitely the brightest one. All right. And yeah, I can swatch some pinks for lilies, and then I think we're good to start. I need more soft pinks. Maybe I'll try an OBUJO for this month too. Okay, this is, oh, sorry. Oh, that's not soft. What about that? Like, that's not even pink, barely. I like the color, but it's not pink. Well, let me just swatch a few. That one's pretty light, so I'd go over it a few times. 2. Oh, see, and that's super bright. Well, if we add lilies, let's just choose from one of those for now. Option 2, one for the browns. So let's choose one of these pinks to be our water lilies paired with these other colors, and option 2. There's a poll right under my name. Just choose whichever number you think would go well. And then I think we're ready to go. So I should pull up my calendar on my iPad so that I can plot out our spacing and dates and everything for the month of August. Okay, we need an extra row in August because it's a Oh no, that's August. Yeah, August 2025. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you, Megan. Thank you for the follow, you guys, and the likes. I appreciate that. How's this poll doing? Option 2. Same pink as last month, too. So the only color that we voted not the same as last month's colors was this one. And we chose 3 last month, which is very similar. So far it looks like we're heading towards repeat color palette for the whole journal, which works for me. All right. So let's go do the August calendar. Oh yes, I can show July. So this is a different journal. It's Janelle's journal, which she's using as a family memories journal, not as a planning journal. So she didn't request a title page for each month. Instead, she's doing a 2-page calendar like this that has kind of a little title section, and then a family memories spread for the whole month. And then every week, instead of just having a 2-page weekly spread with the dates on it, every week has 4 different pages. So a family worship page for the 30th to the 6th, this week's memories, Sunday check-in, and core 5 reflection, which I'm going to write in. She sent me a list of prompts to cycle throughout the whole journal. I'm going to write those in later because they're long. But and so she's got those 4 pages for every single week. And so we just finished July, and now we're going to hop into August. Yes, I'm saying yes to Jess. Yeah, Jess, I was chatting with Janelle today and I showed her this and she really liked it. So she wants us to go ahead with this same layout. Aw, thank you, Annie. Anna, wow, can't even read. Thanks for joining our live today. All right, so let's do August. Let me think here. Because we're going to have a 6th day. Or 6th week. So I might just go 3, 6 from the top. Three, 6. Four, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, actually she wants her August to be a Monday start, so then I won't need 6 rows. I'll only need 5 because I was looking at the Sunday start and thinking that I would need 6 rows, but I will actually only need 5. So that changes things a little bit. I'm just going to leave a bit of a larger gap then between the days of the week and the calendar just to account for it, because I counted this spacing as though I was going to have a whole extra row of days. But let's just do 4, 4. I'm gonna put a little like lily pad or something over here. So I'm just gonna leave a cutout for some kind of pond doodle, a lily pad or a duck or something, just for fun. Okay. How are you doing? The dots on the page help a ton. And then also, if you're honestly looking for advice, just always keep your hand flat on the paper and always pull down. Never draw lines to the sides, never lift your hand off the page. Hand flat on the paper, pull towards your body, and get a journal with dots. And that will probably solve your problems of not being able to do that straight. Let's pull up my pictures, the inspiration that we saved from Pinterest. Okay, come on, don't fail me now. I don't know why I have such a hard time with like the multitasking feature on my iPad. Super helpful, but also annoying. Just doesn't work the way that I want it to half the time. I guess I should do the dates, huh? Before I get too into other things. I kind of just want to do them all yellow. I like the idea of that. And now let me go back to my calendar here just so I remember. So yeah, we're starting here. Let's just do all yellow instead of cycling through colors, just for something different. All right, where's my itty bitty pen? Here we go. One, two, that one dot with white in the middle. 18. One dot with, oh, I see which one you're talking about. 21, 22. Oh, right. This does need to go all the way to the end. Now I was over calculating. No problem, boo. I thought you were talking about this. I was like, no, that was on purpose. I'm not going to cover that up. I just put it there. All right, so we'll do Monday first. Were any of you guys here, or did you see that theme where I did that plaid lettering? I'm thinking now, this space might be a little bit small to do August in plaid actually, but that would be so cute. Did anyone see that? The bubble letters? It was pink and it was a cow theme for the month of July in Alyssa's journal. I loved that lettering. I feel like we should bring it back at some point in this journal. And I would love to do it for this theme, but just thinking about it now, August is a little bit long to do in bubble letters that are big enough to see plaid detailing on. So maybe that won't work unless I find a good like fine tip that I can use for that. But I was doing it with just like Crayola Colors of the World felt tip markers in that other journal. So it was pretty, took up a lot of space. I could do stacked, and I would love to. I love doing stacked calligraphy. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do stacked calligraphy for August with like pond ripples around it and then little pond doodles kind of around. That's what I'm going to do. The real question though is, what color should I do for stacked calligraphy? Let's do a vote for this one. So here's the vision. I'm going to do stacked calligraphy AUGUST and then put like some little like water ripples around it and then like a lily pad, frog on a lily pad, duck down here, whatever. That's the vision. But what color should I use for the actual lettering for August? So I'm going to put them in order here of the votes. So option 1 is green, 2 is pink, 3 is yellow, and I'm not going to do 4 as an option because 4 is going to be the ripples right around it. So option 4 is to do cycle through these colors. A in green, U in pink, G, you know, cycle through the colors. So option 1, green, option 2, pink, option 3, yellow, and option 4, cycle through the colors. There should be a poll up below my name where you can put your votes right there. And once we've got the results, then I will start calligraphizing. And I'm gonna already actually cheat a little bit and start. Hey Jessie, how are you? I'm gonna do some little like bulrushes and stuff over here. Since I know that that won't get in the way of the lettering that we're about to do. All right, results are in. 2 yellow, okay. Right? 2 is yellow? Or was 2 pink? Oh, goodness. Was 2 pink or yellow? Does anyone remember? Pink, pink, pink. Okay, good. Good, because I didn't want to do yellow. Thank you guys. Y'all got my back. Thank you. Okay, so let's put a... I'm not going to do like huge stacked calligraphy like I often do, just because there's not a ton of space over here, so we'll keep it kind of dainty. U S T. And I will maybe just darken up a little bit on the bottom here. And then let's just do some little like kind of ripples around. Oh wait, what are you guys talking about? Oh, I call them bulrushes. Yeah, you guys call them cat tails. I've heard cat tails, but I thought that was referring to something else. I thought that was like a willow. All right, we'll get some ripples around there. Then let's place some little ducks or something. I'll do maybe a duck over here. Just chilling on the water. think I want to add some white gel pen to him. He's looking a bit aggressively yellow to me. Let me find an orange for his beak. Cattails is the only right name. Okay. Wait, but Black Deer, you're Canadian too, hey? Is it just the Canadians who call them bulrushes? Now I'm curious to know. Do a little duck over there. And maybe a little... I am going to add some white gel pen to some of these doodles, so don't worry, this isn't the final look. Oh, Jordan, you've heard the cattails. Oh, okay, maybe. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not a Canadian thing. Maybe it's just me and Black Deer. Oh, you call them cattail. Okay, never mind. So I'm on my own then. Bulrushes. That's what we always called them growing up. And we had a lot of them. Where was my other inspiration picture that I wanted to use? When ducks stick their tails up in the air, do you see their feet? I'm trying to figure out how I would draw a duck with its tail up in the air. If I should have feet showing or not. Yes, you do. No, no. You guys are funny. I just love the confidence of the yes, you do. No. Yeah, when their face is under the water. I'm trying to picture. Or is it just like they kind of tuck their legs back up into them so their feet are still under the water, but like a little bit of their leg is sticking up? You know? I'm trying to picture it. We had ducks at our cabin and we've got this great video of my brother like slowly feeding them till they get closer and closer to him until they're like eating out of his hand. He's got like goggles on with his face partially under the water so that all they do is like come to his hand. If they're under the water, no. Right. Well, I feel like if I just draw one without the feet, it's just going to look like a little yellow cone sticking out. Maybe I'll just draw like... So this is as if it's their belly side showing, and these are just going to be part of his legs. You know how they kind of tuck their legs because birds' legs bend backwards? You know what I mean? Do you guys see the vision with that? Little duck bum sticking out. You don't see the actual feet, but we'll see the legs. All right, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that for now and then add some, I feel like my duck needs an eye. He's just kind of blank. Add some white gel pen. I actually kind of want to add green to the lily pads instead of white, or maybe both, but we'll start with green. And I think I need a darker pink too for the water lilies. Miss Lily Pad, yeah, you're right. Dropping the ball lately. Okay, there we go. And maybe a little wing for my duck friend. That is much oranger than this marker was last time I used it. My son forgot to put a lid on this one, so whoops. Sorry, duck. Oh yeah, I was gonna do a frog, hey? Maybe I'll bring that into the other page because I kind of like how this one looks right now. I don't know if I want to add too much more to it. I don't really know where I would put a frog. If I had left another like cutout here or not filled one of these spots, I would, but I know I just did the bottom half of these letters. Maybe I should do the top half too, and then I never do that. Put the feet on the duck? But what do you mean? The feet would be under, right? Okay, I'll darken up the bottom of og too. I was just thinking like fading from light to dark as a whole word. Oh, now I used the wrong pink. Can you guys tell that that's a different pink? But it still looks fine. Smaller bulrush in the left corner. I think I'm gonna leave it the way it is for now. And move on to the family memories page. So let me show you what we did last month for family memories. Family memories, the kind of instructions that she gave me was just to have a bunch of different boxes for different funny things that happened during the month, quotes, highlights of the month, whatever. So for this month, we did just like a bunch of random boxes. I didn't really put too much thought into it. For this month, we could do that same sort of thing, or we could just have like big lily pads that she'll write on, and then like just ripples of water in between as the decor. What do you guys think? Big lily pads, or something more like this, where it's just kind of a key doodle and then boxes, or do we want to make the boxes into a doodle, or make a doodle into the boxes, you know? Yes, I do sell these. I can do a quick flip through, but this is the only month we've done in this journal. If you want a flip through of Patty's, I still have hers. I'm mailing it off tomorrow, so I can do any last flip throughs today, and then it will be out of my hands. Okay, what did Rachel say? Rachel. I can't read today. Rachel. Lily pads and puddles. Okay. Big lily pads for sure. Okay, cool. Let's do that then. Okay, so I'll do a quick flip through to show you guys July. This is Janelle's journal. She's got her initials, JW, as her charms. And then we've got, oh, thanks, Gilbert. You've got my back. I did the duck right. So we've got July. There's no monthly like title pages, habit trackers, anything. This is a family memory journal. So she wanted a calendar layout like this. Family memories page for each month, and then every week, instead of a weekly spread, there are 4 pages for each week. So a family worship page for the 30th to the 6th, this week's memories, Sunday check-in, and core 5 reflection for every week. And we're keeping the layout simple, carrying over a few doodles. So that's what we've got for July. And now moving into August, we are going to do our family memories page. Right? That's what we called that page, right? Just want to confirm. Yes. Family memories. I am going to hand letter it in pink in the middle here. Family memories. And then surround it with larger lily pads and puddles. What about big ripples? White space to write in and the rest filled in with... I'm not sure if I'm totally... Big ripples. Little doodles. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, so I want fam, F-A-M on this side of the page. A-M I-L-Y. And then I'll darken up the bottom half of that, but I'm going to write memories first. Mem-O. Yeah, I want that many letters on this page, I think. And then I'll darken. No, we're not doing pink plaid for this theme. I'm thinking for a different month we should bring in the pink plaid, or just plaid in general. But for this one we just went with stacked calligraphy, my go-to. Like I was saying earlier, I'm so much faster at hand lettering than I am doodles. So yes, I love the look of calligraphy, but it's also just kind of like a cheat to the bigger and more eye-catching the lettering, the more I can get away with doing simple doodles. All right. Little mosquitoes or light bugs. I like that idea. Did I already check if I have another 192? Okay, good. I do, because I'll probably need it after this theme. This green is getting a workout already in this journal. And if we're using it for every month, then I will probably need a backup at some point. Yeah, you can hear that it's getting dry, hey? It still works, but... yeah, she's getting squeaky. Yeah, lightning bugs would be cute. Rain boots could do that. All right, and this blue, this blue is running low and I don't have a backup. I'm just second guessing the large puddles thing to write on, because I'm not really sure what I'll do if that blue runs out. I am from Canada, yes. Let's do just gonna do a water lily here and then still have a large lily pad to write on, but just to get some more pink on the page. I'm not sure what to do about that blue. So I'm just kind of buying myself time by drawing this one. Still large enough to write a memory on, even though it's got a lily on there. And Owala dupe. Owala, like the water bottle? I have a Stanley. That's what I use. What if I use my super light blue, number 1, for the puddles, and then just use 3 for ripples and not for the puddles? This is Tombow 192. And she's getting close to the end of her life, but got a backup when needed. Oh yeah, they could patent. All right, well, Lily, great idea about the blues. Okay, let's do that then. I'll do some larger, like sort of puddly looking areas with my lighter blue, because this thing just has ink for days. I've had this marker for quite a while and it's still kicking. Although I should probably restock some of my favorite Zig brushables, because now that I'm doing customs again, it doesn't take long for them to suddenly just decide to stop. Oh yeah, I could do some bulrushes by the title. The only acceptable name, Sydney. Just kidding. Bulrushes is kind of a weird sounding name now that I think about it. That's just what we called them. I like whoever said nature's corn dogs. That's funny. Sydney. All right, let's do another lily pad, maybe down here. I haven't done customs in a few years, Mike Jones, but of my favorite colors, like, so I did customs for like 2 years solid, and in that time, I probably replaced this marker maybe 4 times, and some of my more favorite ones, like my grays, like I'm probably on my 6th or 7th Tombow N89 because I use it for everything. I replace them quite often. I use them all the way until they're gone, but just happens fast when you're making journals for lots of people. And this one, I feel like I should replace it soon. It's getting kind of streaky. I was hoping it would survive this page, but I feel like it's starting to look bad, and I don't want that. Oh, that's what you mean, Maria. No, unfortunately, the Ohuhus, I like the colors, but they are so vibrant. Like, they really don't have tons of neutrals in there. Like, they have some browns, but as for, like, colors, they're very, very bright, which is great for some people, but not for Janelle. So I feel like I can't use those in here, unfortunately. Well, I mean, the yellow that we're using is an Ohuhu, but it's definitely the brightest color in this theme, and this is the softest yellow that they have. Okay. But if you like bright, you probably love those Ohuhus. It just is not for certain people like Janelle. See, and every now and then, like, now it feels like this marker is getting a bit of a second wind. Come on, baby. Okay, maybe not. For the first few rows, it felt like it was doing really well all of a sudden. Oh my goodness, it's already 10:15. I didn't realize that. My husband went to watch the hockey game at 5 at his parents', and he's still there. Yes, I do store my markers upside down. Upside down or sideways, some of them, but I never store them right side up. All right, let's put another puddle over here. Oh, Candy Pie. Which hockey game? He was watching the Leafs. I know they were losing when I last checked, but I never checked the final score. But yeah, we've lived near my husband's parents the whole time that we've been married, and we're moving in a few weeks until to a different province, so we won't be near his parents anymore. So I know he's milking the time by his parents and wanting to hang out there extra. Oh my goodness, 6-1. That's awful. And they're back at home too. Now they need to win the next one in Florida. Brutal. Okay, I'm gonna have to toss this one after this lily pad. Well, maybe I should let it sit upside down overnight because it was sideways. I think that'll be the last green that I use on this page. I'm going to place one more puddle and then fill the extra little gaps with ripples, maybe some fireflies, and what else was I thinking? Maybe dragonflies could be cute. I could do a little frog somewhere maybe on this page, even though it won't really be proportionate to the lily pads because they're quite big. You know, TikTok didn't even ask me to do the robot thing today. It's so confusing. Because if I knew exactly like when and even that it would do the robot thing, I would just set a timer, but it always surprises me and then sometimes it doesn't even do it at all. Dragonflies, yes. I like the idea of doing dragonflies on this one. All right. So let's do a few dragonflies. I think I might use a super light purple. Would that be out of place for the wings? I just like to use a light color, either light gray, light blue, but there's a lot of light blue going on already. Light purple. I don't really know how to draw little fireflies, just like black little bugs with a glowing tail. I'm gonna make the tail glow. Light purple, light gray. Let's see, do these look cute? I'll do a few of those, little fireflies. Light purple, you say? Is that the lighter end? Yeah. Not as light as I anticipated, honestly, but whatevs. All right, let's add some. Okay. I think we're pretty well done this page. Ooh, what marker just dropped my purple. Shading to the puddles. Maybe. That's fine. Doesn't look worse. Let's do a bit of that. Okay, let's call that done. Family memories. Cute. I'm happy with how this one turned out. I wish the marker wasn't so streaky. In hindsight, I should have just tossed it before we even started this theme. Because it works, but it doesn't look as good. So that's on me, Janelle. Let me get a new one moving forward. And let's choose a weekly spread. So she's not doing normal weeklies, but after seeing the other month that I showed her, she did think that having some sort of weekly structure would be nice. So let's go to my bullet journal board to weekly spreads. And we're looking for 1-page weekly spreads, or spreads where we can just take like 1 page of it anyways. And the other page will be pretty open-ended. So let's find something, and it needs to be one with like boxes, not one with just like kind of headings to separate, because we're not doing headings. We're just like dividing the space for her to label and use as she wants. So it's got to have boxes, which is kind of limiting, but we'll make it work. I love how this, like, you guys ask me all the time if I ever make mistakes. This person did web instead of wed. Bullet journal. I love how it looks, but I just noticed that right away, and I was like, oh, I do that too. Human. Okay. I'm trying to think. I don't want to be too intense with these weeklies because there's twice as many weeklies as a normal journal, so I know it's gonna drag on if we get too intricate. I feel like I could take 1 page of this, and let me just think about that. Okay, or something like this. This is more what I was thinking of, like a 1-page weekly. This is tough. These weekly layouts, just not knowing how she's going to use them makes it a lot harder for me to figure out how to set them up so that it's open-ended enough that she can do what she wants to do, but not just like a totally blank page, you know? Struggling. Man, is this my weekly spreads board? Because, oh no, it's not. Okay. That makes sense, because I was like, not nearly all of these are weekly spreads. It should be only weekly spreads on this board. Also, I didn't really like lots of them, so Good to be back in my own stomping grounds, my own Pinterest board. Maybe something like this. Could do something like this, but only one side would have boxes branching up and the other one would just be open. Or something like this. Okay, I think I'm going to take the ideas that we have now, and I'm not totally sure how this is actually going to work, so it's hard for me to like frame this vote because I don't know what this is going to look like, because these weekly spreads aren't normal weekly spreads. She wants them very, very open-ended so that she can use them for memory keeping. But these are kind of the layouts that I'm going to use as inspiration for how I lay out her page while keeping it open-ended. So I don't know if it's actually going to end up looking that much like them, but just for me to kind of have a reference point. So just choose your favorite one, and it may look nothing like what you think you voted for. We'll see how it goes. So there's 5 options. Are any of my moderators still here? If you are, feel free to put up a 5-option poll and I'll just swipe through all 5 and you guys can put your vote. So option 1 here is this type of layout. Oh, thank you guys. Okay, so whichever one of you wants to, I think last time we accidentally had 2 at a time. I didn't even know you could do that. So maybe one of you just dibs it. Thank you, Jessie. So we're gonna have 5 options. This is option 1. Option 2, just as very loose inspiration for this pond themed weekly spread. Option 3. Option 4. And option 5. Very loose. Might not look anything like what you think you're voting for. I just want to have some sort of idea of how to arrange my page. So option 1, option 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I hear my husband is home and it's 10:30, so I'm probably going to hop off right after this poll, but we'll at least choose what we're going to do so that tomorrow's live we can just jump right in and start working on the weekly spreads. Let me swipe through those one more time. Oh, never mind. They're done. Option 2. Okay. Sounds good. Let me just open my TikTok back up so that I can see your guys' comments. Okay. Lovely. Well, I'm really happy with how this one is looking so far. It's turning out pretty cute. I feel like I should maybe add a dragonfly somewhere over here, but we'll figure that out. That is the stroller getting brought in. Good night, Jess. Oh, Jess, we need to overlap on a theme sometime that you want to do to get your journal started. Sorry, I keep not realizing you're here until we're like already partially in it and then not knowing if it's something that you want to do. But thank you guys for joining. I do plan to be live again tomorrow around whatever time it is for you right now. I usually start 2 hours earlier, so feel free to join tomorrow night. I will be gone for the weekend though, so that will be my last chance to hang out with you guys this week. We'll hopefully finish August And good night to everyone. Feel free to follow me on Instagram if you want to know when I'm going to be live, because I always post that in my stories, as well as when my custom journal slots open back up. Feel free to use code LIVE50 for 50% off of anything in my shop as a thank you for supporting me over here on my lives. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. I will see you tomorrow.